No, well, this is just over the top. Out of control, friends. A network for trading the organs of homeless people has been discovered in St. Petersburg. How is that even possible? From dirty people who haven't eaten for a long time and live in unsanitary conditions. Something's not right here. I don't know, friends, but it's hard for me to believe things like this. The head of the hospital's pathology department was receiving at least 500,000 rubles a month for providing bodies for organ harvesting. 500,000 a month. And what was his official salary? What did he get paid? And now, as a kind of excuse, meaning that they weren't just grabbing anyone, people on the street, they weren't put to sleep, and it wasn't those who had been euthanized. They were removing organs from healthy people, from young people, not from the elderly. After all, homeless people are usually of a different age group. Most often, as they say now, these were the bodies of citizens who led an antisocial lifestyle. And they had no relatives, no one to notify. Biomaterials were transferred to various commercial organizations and used in cosmetology, surgery, and dentistry as experimental samples. The head of a morgue in St. Petersburg was detained on suspicion of selling corpses. This is what the investigative committee reports. A criminal case was opened in St. Petersburg regarding the sale of bodies from the morgue of the Alexandrovskaya Hospital. Doctors in St. Petersburg were selling the organs of deceased people who ended up in the hospital morgue. What, dead people? Who needs the dead? No? Maybe the sleepy ones, yes, but no one needs the dead. In St. Petersburg, the trade in human biomaterials has now been stopped, from the morgue to hospitals. Huh? They keep order. Or did you think they didn't? No, my friends, they're there, keeping watch. There's this, Fontanka writes, dead material. What was done with the corpses from Alexandrovskaya Hospital? If you want, read it. It's hard to read stuff like that. It just doesn't sit right with me. I don't want to. It's all kind of disgusting. You know, people aren't squeamish about anything. I don't know how people live. It's hard to say. Residents of a town in the Irkutsk region have been living without heating or electricity for over a week. Minus 30 degrees. No heating and no electricity. And I once told you that in Chukotka and also here on the Magadan Highway, Magadan-Susuman, there are still. In 1991, 1992, 1993, 1995, they were left without heating, without deliveries. That's what we called it, the Northern Delivery. Northerners, do you remember our Northern Delivery when all the supplies would arrive? From the Northern Delivery, which was in August, September, that was the last month when the steamships would still come. But really, it was the end of July, August, and September. They used to bring us food, fuel, and of course all sorts of other things as well. But then the Northern Delivery ended. As soon as the cruiser Aurora fired in 1991 and a tank ran over a person on our bat, then, after that, the Northern Delivery stopped working. People forgot altogether that there are people living there who need to be fed. They were carrying out some of their own functions. They lived along the highway. And the highway, it's about 20 kilometers from the road into the taiga, into the mountains. But who was going to feed them? Who needed them? Did anyone need them in 91? No. No, nobody needed them back then. So what was the problem, friends? The problem was that people simply weren't needed by anyone back then. And I don't know how many millions of people died. Thousands, yes, of course, a lot. But I think it was in the millions. They died along the highway. All of them, absolutely everyone. The settlements perished, died out in a single winter. No fuel, no heating, no food, no nutrition. The houses were cold. They burned everything they could for heat, just to be able to go outside. Wolverine, bear, wolf. The wolf is not like in Europe, where you can kill it with a knife, get into a fight with it. No, my friends, the wolf here is like 2 European wolves. It's a giant, really huge. So no one could leave their homes. And Wrangel Island, it was all Soviet back then, and now it's already foreign, but back then it was all Soviet. Polar bear females would come there to give birth, and there were many local residents. They lived there, already under the oppression of Soviet law. This was forbidden, that was forbidden, you couldn't sail away, couldn't go to Alaska, couldn't go anywhere. In short, they just sat and waited for the weather by the sea and for food too. But there was no food. Everyone died out. The beast came and devoured everyone. The polar bear mothers are hungry. Their cubs are growing. And here, there are humans running around. Humans running around without weapons. And where can you get bullets? All the houses are open. A person steps outside and there you have him. And the food is eaten. Why wouldn't it be food? There was an interesting incident like this. In Chukotka, we had planes, those AN-2s. You know, when there are two wings parallel to each other. And here's just an unbelievable incident. The pilot landed somewhere out there on the ice. He landed the plane, got out at a station somewhere far away. He had brought some supplies, something like that. So the pilot is standing next to his Anushka. Anushka, that was it, Anushka the plane. Someone comes up to him from behind and puts a hand on his shoulder. Yes, so someone put a hand on his shoulder. Someone. He turns his face to see who it is to greet them. And there's a polar bear with a satisfied look standing there, its paw on his shoulder. Out of fear. Now tell me what came over the man? He jumped straight onto the wing of Anushka. He jumped onto the wing of Anushka from where he was standing. He shot up like a rocket. Is that possible? Impossible. So even if you train, you still wouldn't be able to do that? But in certain moments, something awakens in the human body, in the mind. It's fear. It's, let's say, a kind of jolt to the brain's activity. And his brain focused so intensely that it propelled his body up onto the wing of Anushka. No one believed him. But when they looked into the situation, believe it or not, that's just how it was. And people talked about it a lot. There was a photo of him next to his Anushka, next to the plane, but without the polar bear. That's the kind of thing that happens in Chukotka. Chukotka is an amazing magical land. There's an incredible amount of magnetism there, so much magnetism. So friends, if you love Chukotka, go visit. If you love Magadan, oh, the snow there when you step off the plane. And that diamond-like scattering. I've never seen snow like that anywhere except in our northern regions. Today, February 6th, 2026. I am Tanya Karatsuba Sidiburkan. Write, tell your stories. Life is very interesting. We survived. Who should I share it with? Well, here I am sharing it with you.